Hello, it's been a while, and I'm having a very hard time resurrecting my Minecraftish tutorials due to some weird flaw in how they are handled by MonoDevelop. However, that aside, a lot of people who have been watching my Minecraftish tutorials, I realize that now that they haven't ever made a game before, even a very basic one, and I think that that's probably a more important tutorial to do, so we're going to create a basic Tetris clone. Now this clone isn't going to be very interesting to make, I'm afraid, but if you wanted to make a game and you were serious about getting involved, you really do have to make a game. And rather than jumping in on something that's as heavy hitting as Minecraft, it's better to jump in on something you can actually accomplish in one or two sittings, and that would be Tetris. We're going to be doing this in Unity, as always. We're going to be doing it in C Sharp, as always. And I'm going to go ahead and go over it in great detail, as always. So what we're going to do first is we're going to go ahead and just create our Tetris pieces. And this is a great way to get used to how to work with Unity. So I'm going to create some cubes. And you can see that that put a cube into scene, oh, in game view, into scene view. So here's a cube. There are some flaws with this scene view and the game view, so we're going to fix them right now. And the biggest one is that we don't have a light in here. I don't remember whether there is a default light that gets created or not. I think there is one in Blender and there's not one in Unity. But that's okay, we can create a light. Game object, create other, directional light. There we go. And then when we look at game view, you can see that there is a box. Of course, that box doesn't do anything, and if I hit play, nothing moves, nothing happens. We need to create a prefab for this cube. So we're going to call this cube Tetris chunk. And it's going to be a single block of a Tetris piece. And we're going to turn that into a prefab just by dragging it down into the assets. And now it is a prefab. And that means that if we make any change to one Tetris chunk, all of the Tetris chunks will change. And that's going to be important in a little while. So let's go ahead and make ourselves a basic Tetris piece. We might as well start with the I'm hitting Control D to duplicate, by the way, so like that. We're going to go ahead and start with a shape that is iconic enough that we'll be able to recognize it, and that will be, there we go, this guy, or maybe this guy. How about that? This guy. Yeah, we'll make this guy. So this is 4 separate pieces, and you can see that they all are their own object. Now this would get bad if we were going to be doing a big game. We would probably want to have some kind of optimization, but this is something where we're going to be developing fast. The idea is that you can do it in 1 or 2 sittings, so it's okay that each of these is an independent object. But what's not okay is that they move independently of each other, and we need them to all move at the same time. So we need to create an empty game object, which we will call a Tetris block, and then we'll just move all of these into the Tetris block. Clunk. Now when we move the Tetris block, they all move at the same time. Pretty easy, right? Well, there's some more tricks we're going to do with this Tetris block. We're going to go ahead and add a rigid body to it. Component, add physics, rigid body. Rigid bodies will allow this to move according to Unity's built-in physics, which is going to be useful to us. So if we were to hit play, you can see that it drops off the bottom of the screen. Now, in the long run, we're going to have to not use gravity because gravity uses an accelerating downward motion, whereas Tetris blocks move at a steady pace. But for now, gravity will work okay because we're just trying to get a feel for it. So to get a feel for how this would interact with land, let's go ahead and create some land. So I'm going to create another game object, create a cube. I'll just create a cube. And what we're going to do is we're going to put this at 0, 0, 0, but we're going to make it big, like this, okay? So now when we hit play, dunk, you can see that it drops right into place and stops. So in the next episode, what we're going to do is create a simple character controller, or it's not even a character controller, a simple controller that will allow us to move this while it falls. We're also going to go ahead and reduce, I guess I'll do that right now. Let's reduce the gravity right now, which we're going to do by going into project settings, physics, gravity of, why isn't, oh there it is. It's like, why isn't gravity here? It is, it's fine. -1. And that'll be much, much slower. Bonk. Alright. And I'll see you in the next episode.